The solar eclipse in Taurus for May 9th, 2013 happens approximately 8:30 p.m. in Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And the eclipse, any eclipse, whether it's a lunar, moon, or solar, sun eclipse, is a powerful new moon or a powerful full moon. Different eclipses, you interpret them to see how much pizzazz, how much they're really going to impact the world and your life by interpreting the chart. So in Taurus, it does mean that there's this collective demand from the cosmos to look at issues around Taurus. So what is Taurus? It's the land, it's the earth, it's what we have, it's what we value. Therefore, there's a sudden thrust of energy asking us, do we value what is around us? Is what we hold, is what is in our life, are we appreciating it? How can we appreciate what is part of our world even more? Do we value what we have? So there's this push or question or nudge from the universe to look at the people in your life, to look at the things in your life, and to see what is it that you appreciate about them. What is it that you appreciate that it supports for you, that it has for you, that it gives value for you. And if you're looking around in your world and things that are a part of your world, you don't really care about them, and you don't value them, it's time to change. And if that's true for you, then this eclipse, you will feel it in a powerful way. It's an earth sign. So when eclipses are an earth sign, it's the sign of the earthquake. So this inner earthquake of, I just need to get, bust out, break everything open and make a change. Have whatever it is in my life that I do value, that is important to me. And make the changes that are necessary so you have that. So you appreciate that. And part of one way to access this is, what is it about this circumstance? What is it about this job? What is it about this friendship? What is it about my family or whatever that is great? What is good about this? To see if it's something that fits your values, fits your life, or what's important for you. What you can expand on that. And if you find the answer, so if you have a job and you really feel that it is not contributing to your life at all, it's definitely saying this is a time to make change. The solar eclipse in Taurus energy, there's a couple of things that you want to look at. One, we also have Mars in Taurus. Of course, the south node's there. That's why the eclipses are there. Mercury is in Taurus, then the sun and moon, because that's the new moon in Taurus. And there is whenever you have a lot of planets in a fixed sign, and Saturn is in Scorpio, a fixed sign opposite Taurus, there is it can feel very difficult to change, but the change will be necessary. And once it starts moving, it's like you can't stop it. So it might be hard to begin to push. Like if you think of a disabled car and it's disabled and you have to push it, it takes a while to get it to move. But once it starts rolling, especially if it starts going downhill, there's no stopping it. So it's that type of essence. In this particular eclipse chart, you can see, let me see if I can get where it's going to be. One of the ways, if you're looking at it from a worldview, what's wanting to predict in the worldview, you look at where the eclipse, you can see the eclipse, where it's going to be visible. And this red line here shows where it is visible. And our friends over in Australia, that is where the eclipse the shadow of the eclipse will fall across. Therefore, the eclipse energy for a global sense shows that it may have more impact in the country of Australia, more so than another particular place. It's just that's where that shadow energy is falling across. And the other thing that you want to realize is that the Pluto Uranus square, the Pluto and Capricorn Uranus square, will be exact only 11 days later. And so in addition to this solar eclipse, the Pluto Uranus square is only 11 days away, so it's very strong, it's very powerful. What is a Pluto Uranus square? That has been going on, and it's this energy that has been demanding significant change. Remember, Pluto in Capricorn is wiping out any of the structures that are old and have outlived themselves, including governments who has misused power, and Uranus in Aries is this demand to follow your own true heart, to follow your own true path, to be true to who you are, and to stand up, to be the rights of the individual, that everybody has their individual rights to find their own path, to be who they are. So this exact square, so close to the eclipse, is part of this pattern even deeper. Now, the planet that is the strongest, is the one that has most essential dignities. And the planet that's the strongest is the moon in Taurus. She's in her exaltation. And so the moon in Taurus, what is the moon? Moon represents how we feel. Moon represents our emotional well-being, that sense of the feminine sense. So the strongest place to access the changes, the truth of the changes for yourself, is to go deep within your emotional well-being, deep within your emotional body, and to get straight with what you really feel, to be very clear that it's coming from deep within you. The other planets that have some strength is Venus and Mercury, because they are in mutual reception. What's mutual reception? That's when one planet is in the sign of, so Venus is in her rulership in Taurus, and Mercury is in its rulership in Gemini. Well, here we have Venus in Gemini and Mercury in Taurus. So they're in each other's sign that they rule. That's called mutual reception, and that gives those two planets strength. Now, how do we work with that? So first, getting in touch with your emotional body, especially when it has to do with anything with security issues, because the Taurian principle is about what makes me feel safe, what makes me feel secure, what do I need to have, right? Because it's earth sign. What do I need to have? What do I need to own? What do I need? What material things do I need around me? What physical things do I need around me where I feel that I can go out and be the best person I can be because I have that resource to be able to blossom? It's kind of like food having the right nutrients in your body to be able to feel good, or a plant having the right soil and sunlight and water to be able to grow. So this is, what do I need to be able to really blossom in life? What are the material, the physical, the resources that I need to blossom? And one is saying, get in touch emotionally, be very honest with how you feel about things. Really true. And then you can work with the mental, Mercury mental, and Venus again is what we value. And also relationships. Those two can work together. Now, Venus is conjunct a fixed star. In the seven weeping sisters, Pleiades, Alcon. She's the strongest, the brightest star in the Pleiades, the weeping sisters. And that gives a certain passionate edge, a passionate push, a passionate punch to Venus. So we can feel very, very deep about this. Once we get in touch with the core, we can feel very deep about it, very passionate about it. And if you look you will also see that Venus, the declination of Venus, 20 degrees north, 14, is within 1 degree. You want, when you use these, you want to use them within 1 degree. Pluto, 19 degrees. So that's north, that's south, but it's within 1 degree. And so there's this vibration between Venus and Pluto, which is passionate, very, very deep, passionate energy. And also with the other two that are resonating together, Mars and Mercury. So Mercury, 16 north 45. Mars, 16 north 02, within 1 degree. What's Mars and Mercury? If you see Mars and Mercury here by conjunction, we have Mars at 14 degrees Taurus, Mercury at 17 degrees of Taurus. So that's conjunction, both in the chart and then the declinations. And that Mars Mercury can be very tough words. Really, you want to pay attention that your words, you do not use words as a weapon. Now, in Taurus, there can be a stubbornness to that, right? Because Taurus is fixed. Fixed is more or less equated with I'm not moving and I'm not budging, and that can be equated to being stubborn. So you want to be really careful that you do not use your words as a weapon, especially if it has anything to do with, I know, like you have ownership over something. I have the knowledge. I know this. I know that. Be really careful that you don't use that to harm. You want to come from a place of love. You want to come from a place of acceptance. And you want to come from a place of where Neptune is in Pisces now. This is learning unconditional love and acceptance and compassion for others. So there's this compassionate sense. And first, compassion can be with ourselves, correct? There can be compassion with ourselves. Now, the one thing with this Taurus energy, it relates back to the conjunction of Jupiter conjunct Saturn. This is the next one in 2020. But Jupiter was conjunct Saturn in the cycle of Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in 2000 at 22 degrees of Taurus. And you may want to contemplate back all the way to 2013 years ago to what was going on then in your life. And some people will have been very, very young, and it's just another era. So take it in context of the history. What was going on historically? Where were the countries? What was the vibration? What was important? And the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in 2000 would be a new beginning around a lot of expansion with finances and money. And then at the opposition, you see how you did, and lo and behold, the opposition came on the heels of Pluto and Capricorn, where there was a lot of downfall financially for some individuals, and especially the Taurus, because Taurus is land and real estate in many parts of the world. Not all parts, but in some parts where the expansion, the overconfidence, there's no place for the prices to go but up. The overconfidence of Jupiter in Taurus conjunct Saturn. So there's a little bit of hearkening back to this conjunction with the solar eclipse in Taurus that will happen. And it's interesting to note that the next conjunction of Jupiter-Saturn will be on December 21st when the sun goes into the solstice there, and it will be in Aquarius. So completely different type of energy in the Aquarius and the air sign than with the last conjunction in Taurus. So this solar eclipse, connect with what is important for you, what you value, and be very honest with yourself. The way to really be able to embrace the power of this eclipse is to get into the truth around your feelings, the truth around your emotional body, that core sense of this is what I need, this is what's important to me, and then to also work work with the mind and relationships and what you value with that, to anchor that in and have that encouragement to break free, the Uranus Pluto square, to break free, to create that which is important for you, that which is true for your life.